Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. End of the line. End of the road for one of these two teams. Which team will it be? Well, that's what we're here to decide. Week 2 of NECC's Chesapeake playoffs are upon us, and that means that we have Shenandoah University preparing to take on the 1-seed undefeated William and Mary. Chris Clayton joined by Ben Kincaid. Wow, I'm a little thrown off because Ben is here to replace Kevin, who is in class. Shout out, Kevin. Good luck. Hang tight in there. But Ben is here to help me talk some Smash Bros, and we've got a big one today.
Yeah, this is going to be a matchup for the ages, right? I mean, this was a very close series early on in the regular season. I believe it was a 2-1 set in favor of William and Mary. They were able to reverse that one. We were up 1-0. They came back out swinging. The Wii Fit was off the charts, 2-0, excuse me, in the series. So it was close, but still going William and Mary's way. So we'll have to see if SU has a few more tricks up their sleeves, can really get the momentum back in their favor. I know they've been playing very well the last few weeks, so let's see if we can keep that going today.
Yeah, these teams are arguably too familiar with each other at this point. They have played each other in the regular season, like we just talked about, William and Mary coming out on top on that one. And before that, they had played each other in our LAN nearby here, Game Mason, and Shenandoah came out on top in that one. So these two teams, a couple hours down the road, right, separating these two, they have played each other more than a couple times over the course of these players' careers, because these people behind us have been here for a good couple years now, and they're very familiar with this roster across from us. We can take a quick look at the playoff bracket, take a quick reminder of how we got here. Shenandoah coming off a nail-biting victory against New Jersey City as the 4 seed, right? That is an upset on your screen there, but now forced to deal with the 1 seed in William and Mary, taking care of one of Quinnipiac's 2 rosters in this bracket, and the winner will advance to the grand finals of the Chesapeake playoffs. So a lot on the line here, but Shenandoah with a hill to climb for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely a big hill, right? When we look at the roster that SU has, right, they have some variety that they can go with, right? We have Rhombus on this Jigglypuff that has been improving steadily throughout the semester. And then we have our big 4, right? We have AJ on the Falco. We have Igloo with the Yoshi. Kip's Pac-Man is always something to be scared of when you go into a lot of these sets. And then to wrap it all out, to round off the roster, we have Willie on the Kazuya Terry. A very, very dangerous combination and a very, very dangerous player here coming through from SU. And then don't forget about 540 Splice either, right? This Captain Falcon is very, very strong in its own right as well.
Yeah, Shenandoah is certainly equipped with options, and that has been the storyline of this semester, really, is discovering how deep this school really is, with the pleasant surprise in the form of Rhombus in particular, making a couple appearances throughout the semester and finding legitimate success on that Jigglypuff, and then the addition of the Academy roster as well. I mean, need we even get into that? They are not on our roster today. We won't see them today, but this team, this school has a lot of Smash Bros. Depth, and it's certainly very exciting to see. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge the other roster, right? The players we're expecting to see from William and Mary. We feel pretty confident that we will see their Wii Fit trainer, their Falco, and then a Terry and a Samus.
Yeah.
And if any of you have played Smash Bros. In an online setting before, some of those names really stick out to you. There's a factor that needs to be taken into account in really any fighting game, and that is an online setting, right? Fighting games just play different when you have a delay versus when your opponent is sitting physically right next to you and you're on the same console. And characters like that, this Wii Fit, the Samus, really thrive in this offline setting, and that seems to be the trend that Shenandoah just hasn't quite been able to overcome. They did beat William and Mary the one time this year, but that was in an offline setting, and with the Falco player not being present at that tournament. But when forced to play online, Shenandoah hasn't been able to find the answers to deal with this roster, and that is going to be a massive question mark of today. Can Shenandoah deal with the connection that inherently comes with this matchup?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of kind of finding where they're going to be placed in this crew battle and trying to match up the best matchup with it, right? Because we saw, I believe it was Igloo's Yoshi do very well against the Wii Fit, so maybe we can pair those two up against each other. That might be an avenue to success going into this matchup. Maybe it's Kyle on this Pac-Man as well. Kip does a very good job at playing space, playing slow, and waiting for moments to strike and not having the pressure really get in their head. So if they were able to play around the hydrant, play around a lot of the projectiles that Pac-Man can come out with, maybe that's another matchup to try to put into this Wii Fit in this online setting to try to catch them off guard and try to find that matchup that works best for them.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the other team places their players. We have gotten pretty comfortable with Kip going out first, Willie going out last, and whatever we need being the answer in the middle. And I say that, but this roster is also not scared to change that up, right? They certainly are not afraid to put people like Igloo in first, and that might be the ticket today to try to mix up this William and Mary roster and see if they can try to maybe put this Wii Fit player in an uncomfortable situation that they weren't exactly prepared for. I don't know. It's going to be hard to tell. We won't know until we get into game, and I imagine we will be getting into game here fairly soon, but I don't know. It's a big question mark for today, the order in which both of these schools will be playing their players.
Yeah, and I think last week, we saw Willie go second
in
one of these matchups. So, our normal anchor position is not scared to go out in that first, second slot, just get a lead, go ham, and then toss it off to the other players and be like, all right, you guys can definitely close this one out. I've done my job front-loading our roster as well. So we'll have to see kind of what the matchups look like going forwards. I don't expect that to happen here today. I definitely expect to see Willie kind of towards the back end of this crew battle, but who knows? Maybe there is an avenue where Willie does come out super early to try to just get that lead and then have all these stocks remaining for this Wii Fit towards the end.
Yeah, it's hard to say, and one thing that I know for sure is that in the last week we have learned a lot about this roster. They did go through some serious adversity up against NJCU and came out on top in that one as we take a look at some of these replays and relive what was an incredible series. NJCU, spoiler alert, took the first set in this sequence, but Shenandoah able to claw all the way back, and a lot of that was on a clutch performance from Kip into Smash Bros. The Lucas player, and Kip ending up coming out on top in that matchup. So this team was put through a lot in this series, and then they had to turn around and go up against the University of North Carolina Greensboro in their NECC competition, and unfortunately they could not come out on top in that one. So this team has been through a lot, but one more thing I want to point out is that we just had a LAN here in our esports arena for Smash Bros. We had a little local tournament that one of our classes here in the esports program was able to put on. You would know a little bit about that. You are in that class.
Indeed.
But if that LAN told us anything about this team, it's that any one of these players can go toe-to-toe with Willie and argue their spot for being the best player on this team.
Yeah, it was very, very close gameplay with this roster. I mean, I believe Kip took Willie to all 5. Igloo as well in top 8 quarters brought them to 5 games as well. So these players are extremely, extremely good individually. So there's definitely a lot of potential to really just come out swinging and have just a heyday, right, with this roster. But it's just a matter of what matchups we get going forwards, going into this matchup, and really if the guys are on tonight. Because right now they're feeling good, they feel prepped and ready to go, but who knows, when game time comes, it could be a different story.
Yeah, it's definitely encouraging knowing that these players are so equally talented, because that makes the pressure and the sort of question mark that is moving players around in your order a little less heavy, because we know that Kip can go in as an anchor or Igloo can go in as an anchor. We're used to Kip being our opener, but we know that if we need to put somebody else in as an opener, that is a very realistic possibility. So I don't know. It was a big LAN for this roster. Willie ends up coming out on top, so congratulations to him. But it further reinforced my confidence in this team to really go line up evenly against any roster in the country and have a very legitimate shot.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be close. I'd expect a very, very close match. It was very close the first time. It was a 2-0, but did not feel like a 2-0 whatsoever. It was down to, I think, 3 stocks pretty much on either side to round up some of those sets. I believe it was that close at least. I'm pretty sure that was kind of the scoreline that we were tracking through that. But yeah, I'd expect some high-level gameplay coming through from both sides, of course, and I guess we'll just really have to wait and see what happens as we go through some more of these replays from the NJCU matchup. This Lucas was definitely one of the players that gave us some trouble, so maybe having some of that practice with a good player like Smash Bros, maybe we're more prepared for today than we were last time.
Yeah, that moment on your screen was such a pivotal moment in this series. Kip coming out on top over Smash Bros in a raw 3v3, no stock advantages either direction. Kip leaving with 2 stocks remaining.
Yeah.
Such a massive moment for this team, for that series. Incredible to watch, and then Willie left to finish the job, makes light work of the rest of this roster. And man, I mean, this team is clearly able to get out of tough situations, right? They don't let any mental weight really stay on them for long, and that's such an important part of competing at a high level, and this certainly is a high level to be competing at, and that type of mental fortitude matters a lot.
Yeah, and that's something that our captain Igloo mentioned earlier in the semester of the mentality of this team has improved so much. They don't let some of these small interactions really latch on and get in their head. They're like, okay, brush that one off. Specifically, he talks specifically about Willie, right? Is very confident in that anchor position now, able to brush off if they lose a set, no biggie, no worries. We roll through it, we go right on to the next one. They're not carrying baggage from that earlier set, an earlier loss. They say, all right, messed up there. They recognize that some mistakes do happen. They analyze it, they go through it, and then they move on, and they go to the next set like nothing ever happened before. So it's very good to hear that from the captain, from the players as well, that now nothing is really in the way mentally for this SU roster.
Yeah, and I want to go back a little bit again to their Game Mason matchup. The last time these two teams played each other in person went pretty favorably Shenandoah's way. And I don't say that lightly. Shenandoah took care of business. And the big factor was, excuse me, both rosters, our roster and their roster, were missing their Falco players, which is kind of funny. But AJ could not make it to that tournament, and their Falco player, I'm forgetting his name right now, but very strong player, couldn't make that either. And I know there was an effort to try to play this series in person because these schools are so close, and I know that didn't work out. But you have to think how that might affect tonight, and just on the note of sort of mental baggage, I imagine our team was looking forward to that, but now that they don't have that, I expect these guys to have to sort of reset and deal with what's ahead of them, which is an online matchup against these characters.
Yeah, and they were feeling confident going into that online run, right? They had some scrims planned out for later in the week. Unable to do them, unfortunately, have to play here tonight on a little bit of a short notice. But, I mean, they're ready. They're online. They're locked in. They're like, all right, hey, it happens. We weren't able to schedule that one in with that online in-person event that we're going to have. But, hey, sometimes it happens. But like I said, the mentality of this team is very, very strong this semester. They're like, all right, brush it off, move forwards, and let's hop into this online scenario, this online setting, and see if we can take it to William & Mary and come out with a win here today.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. And again, these teams played each other in bracket. We know that Shenandoah went 3-2 in the regular season. William & Mary coming out 5-0, giving them that #1 overall seed. But Shenandoah dropped their 2 series against William & Mary and Pace. And we can take a quick look at those results. This was the final standings of the group that these schools had to compete in the regular season. Like we said, William & Mary coming out undefeated, which is a very impressive task given the schools that are in this group. So Pace as well on the other side of the bracket. We expect to have to rematch after this series, right? They still need to play out their matchup in the Chesapeake playoffs, but it's going to be tough. Shenandoah having to sort of face their demons, go up against William and Mary, beat them, and then likely face Pace in the grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, both of those squads are very, very strong. The only 2 losses are to Pace and to William and Mary. So regardless of the outcome, we will have a pretty tough matchup in either the third place match or in this grand finals if we do make it through William and Mary. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very tough road, right? Because it is William and Mary and then a possible Pace if we do make it through to the grand. So very excited to hop into this one. I don't know, we're running into some roadblocks possibly technically or something like that, so maybe trouble getting into lobbies here and there. But hopefully very soon we'll be able to hop into some Smash Bros action, and all of our theory crafting will either be confirmed or absolutely thrown out the window in set number 1.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear to see. We're getting word that we should hopefully have things figured out here soon. So we appreciate your patience at home for bearing with us here as we await results or await word on this matchup. But and one more thing that I want to put a spotlight on is specifically one player from William and Mary that got them to this point, and it really is North on this Wii Fit, right? This player has caused so many issues for so many schools, including ours, and that was such a big hill for Shenandoah to have to climb in that moment. But we are receiving word from our production team from NECC Competitive Integrity, Mr. Nando behind us there, can confirm that I guess we have a no-show on our hands. William and Mary sounds like was not able to check in time, which is unfortunate that that we get this far. I would love to know what happened. That's unfortunate, but sounds like we will not have a match on our hands tonight, and Shenandoah will advance to grand finals of their Chesapeake playoffs.
So I guess we just await the winner of Pace and Quinnipiac, I believe, is
think so.
What comes up, or what that boils down to. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but Pace and New Haven will be the matchup for semis, so we'll await the winner of New Haven and Pace. The next matchup, I believe, is December 3rd. We just got from Prod, so stick around till then, I guess.
Yeah, these are always hard. You know, it's hard for us to talk about. It's hard for the players. You know, they wanted to play, I'm sure, but it is what it is, right? Things come up. I'm sure that something had to happen. We certainly hope everything's okay, but ultimately Shenandoah walks out on top. So thank you so much for bearing with us there as we had to fill for quite a bit of time, but we hope you had a good time. Be sure to drop us a follow on whatever platform you're watching so you don't miss out on any future Shenandoah esports action. We know that our Rocket League team is still competing in their playoffs, and now Shenandoah Smash Bros is not done yet, so you won't want to miss any of that. But for now, that'll do it for us tonight. So be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might just change their life, and we will see you next time.